Did he do it? By a show of hands, how many of you all watched the Netflix documentary, The Reckoning, right? I watched it. I watched it. And according to this, there were 21.8 million views within its first 6 days, right? For those of you who are living under a rock, we're talking about Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Love, right? that episode, that was, at any rate, I watched the documentary with close intent, right? And my wife even said, yo, why are you watching this nonsense? But what she didn't know was I'm watching it to understand what other people are saying. I'm watching it to see why others are so intrigued. I'm watching it to see how this is going to increase Netflix's bottom line. What do you mean by that? Great question. So, for those who don't know, Netflix just had a stock split, right? Let's backtrack a little bit, right? So Netflix just had a stock split. Okay, so prior to Netflix having a stock split, the stock split 10 to 1. Basically, if you had 1 share of Netflix, you now own 10 shares of Netflix, right? So thus the stock split 10 for 1. So Netflix took the stock plummeted about a year or two ago prior to the stock split taking place. Now they got me on the news, right? Reason being, they acted as if Netflix was over, right? This is back when Netflix stock was down. For my stock investors, you know, Netflix stock, it was down for quite some time. And if you turn on the news, they was like, yo, Netflix, don't buy it, it's over, it's so. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like Netflix and chill. That's like a household slogan. But I stayed away from the stock. Make a long story short, the stock ran all the way up, right? I got in on the stock at about $850, about $950, it stopped. I stopped buying the stock. So it kept going at 950 or so, the stock kept going. And I was like, yeah, it's over. I'm not doing that. Once I heard the stock split occurring, because the stock ran from 850 to damn near 1300, right? Boom. So once I heard that the stock split was taking place, I said usually stocks drop during that time when that happens, right? So once the stock split took place, I now own 4 shares of Netflix, right? And it's interesting because Curtis Jackson, right? As many of you know him as 50 Cent, he put out the documentary on Diddy. And this is causing everybody to obviously watch the movie, or the documentary rather. And it didn't dawn on me. It's like I had a delayed reaction. I said, yo, you can't just watch the documentary on regular TV. In other words, you have to subscribe to Netflix in order for you to watch the documentary. So with that being said, that's only going to increase Netflix's bottom line, right? You're paying to watch Diddy's reckoning of his life, that whole debacle, right? He beat the case. Shout out to the 9 lawyers after, and that was crazy. I said, damn, 9 lawyers? But at any rate, I said, out of all those people, the new subscribers in particular, out of all those people, let's say hypothetically speaking, a million people subscribe, right? The odds of all of those million people unsubscribing once the period is over is unlikely. More than likely, they're going to get you hooked on Netflix, right? And those are low numbers, right? These numbers were very astronomical in terms of the amount of people who subscribed, etc. So with that being, and remember, Netflix cracked down on the password sharing. You see where I'm going with this? In addition, Netflix is now into sports, right? Recall they had the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight, which we all know was rigged. They got us. Boom. I didn't watch the Beyonce thing, but I know Beyonce has something on there last year, I want to say. Boom. Even down to next weekend, well, this upcoming weekend, Anthony Joshua, who is a heavyweight boxer, right, versus Jake Paul, a YouTuber, right? And you have some other formidable names on that card. Netflix is in its bag, is what I'm saying, man. Real talk. A lot of people don't talk about Netflix and the Netflix plays that's taking place in which they're doing, but Netflix is getting to it. If you're gonna watch Diddy's Reckoning, by all means, beloved, I can't tell you what to do. But what I can tell you to do is, well, let me say this. The entertainment advice that I would give somebody who looked like me, I would say this. Go to Netflix's stock. Check it out. Look at the 52-week low. Netflix's 52-week low is about $81, $82, right? Right now it's trading at about $83 to $93. Right, sorry, 91, 92 to 93 to $94. Sorry, I got my numbers mixed up. But at any rate, when a stock trades close to its 52-week low, that's usually a good sign to buy. Reason being, you're buying the stock when they dip. You're buying it at a discount. You understand what I'm saying? Let me give you out the particulars. So Netflix's 52-week low is $82.11. Beloved, Netflix is traded at $93.78 right now as we speak. That's damn near $10 off away from its 52-week low. Whereas its 52-week high is $134.12, right? That's one thing. Okay, so the beta. Anytime you speak about a beta, that's basically the risk, right? The risk that you're taking investing into Netflix stock compared to the S&P 500. So thus, Netflix has a beta of 1.71. That tells me that it's 71% riskier to invest into Netflix right now opposed to the S&P 500. So bear in mind there's some sort of risk at play when investing into Netflix. But again, who doesn't have a Netflix account? Tell me that. Who doesn't have the Netflix account? And also, rumor has it 50 Cent, a.k.a. Curtis Jackson, he has more footage in the cut. So when we get a part two, we don't know. Invest, invest, invest. I tell people this all the time. Pay attention to the signs that are right in your face. Right now, all 4 of my kids have custodial accounts. And guess what, beloved? You guessed it. All 4 of them have Netflix in their account. It's the future. Even down to Netflix doing putting in a bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. They very well may be able to make that happen, right? Albeit Paramount is in the cut, firing away with their hostile bid takeover to potentially get Warner Brothers as well. So thus you have some turmoil at play. But Netflix's deal seems a little better, right? Beloved, Netflix, it may go down some more and it may not go up tomorrow, but eventually we all know what the stock could potentially do. Even down to the holders of the stock, right? You got your BlackRocks, you got your JP Morgans, you got your State Street, Morgan Stanley. These are all formidable behemoths, right? That's essentially what they are. For instance, Vanguard has 36 million. That's not even, is that billion? No, that's the value. Sorry. Vanguard has 385.21 million shares of Netflix. BlackRock has 347.43 million shares of Netflix. JP Morgan has 178.5 million shares of Netflix. I say that to say this, beloved. Even if you're invested into an ETF, a mutual fund, a 401k, etc., you have Netflix in that particular portfolio, brokerage account, etc. So why wouldn't you treat yourself for the holidays and buy Netflix while it's close to its 52-week low? And let's get into some financials. Let's get into some financials on this one. Right? Let's see what the numbers are doing. So back in 2021, Netflix's total revenue was $29,697,844. Fast forward to today, Netflix's total revenue is $43,378,787. So that tells me that they're damn near on their way to doubling their total revenue.